From the goat to the table. Our Rolling Green project for November has been animal husbandry on the ranch. Rick is taking care of the barn, and we are both working with the goats, though he works with the pigs too. Our greatest endeavor is the goat milking. We currently only have one milking, but we soon will have 3 more to add to that. Our mama goat, Surrey, is currently getting milked twice per day and has quickly gone from producing about enough for my daily coffee to us having a stockpile in the fridge with about 2.5 pints per day. The others will give even more because they will be freshly bolted, and we can start their milking about 3 weeks after they bolt. This caused us to realize we needed to find a way to do something with all of this milk. It's so much more nutritious than cow's milk and much easier to digest. Cheese is one of our staples, so I got the bright idea to look for recipes for homemade goat milk products. I never thought it would be so easy, and it's even more delicious than anything you'll find in the local grocery. I do know you can use this recipe with your store-bought goat milk too, but I'm going to walk you through it from the farm to the table. We start by milking the goat until we have about a gallon of milk, usually about 3 to 4 days of milking, but can also do the recipes with a quart. I wanted a larger yield on the cheese, so I've been working with the gallons. If your milk is fresh from the goat, you want to be sure to strain it into the containers before storing it to remove any hair, dirt, or other particles that may be in it. Once we have the gallons saved, the milk has aged the appropriate 1 to 3 days before preparing the cheese. It is very important to not use aluminum pots, utensils, or anything that will be a part of the cheese making. Glass, plastic, or stainless steel is highly recommended. The gallon is poured into your boiling pot, and 1 cup of white vinegar or lemon juice is added, stirred, and left to sit for 10 minutes, giving the cream and the milk time to curdle. After 10 minutes, turn your burner onto medium-high and place a candy thermometer into the mix. You will need to stir occasionally with a wooden, plastic, or stainless steel spoon and watch for the temperature of the milk to reach 180 degrees just before it boils. When the frothy bubbles form a layer over the top, it's ready to take off of the heat and let it cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. While that's cooling, you have time to set up your draining pans. You will need a colander, a bowl that it can sit in or on for the whey to drain into, and a cheesecloth, butter cloth, or cotton muslin linen to line the colander with. I use clean linen pieces for making the cheese because it's easy to toss into the wash to clean up, and you need to scald the cloth before using it. I use my tea kettle to boil enough water to cover the cloth in a small bowl and pour the boiling water over it. Then place the colander in the whey draining bowl and line the colander with the cloth. By this time, your cheese is ready to be separated from the liquid whey, so pour it into the colander and let it sit to drain for an hour and a half. After your draining time, pull the edges of the cloth together and twist it into a ball as you squeeze the rest of the whey out. This is the time where you can decide how moist or dry you want your cheese to be. I found that once there is a creamy consistency to the whey coming out of the cheese, if I squeeze until that is gone also, I get a drier, crumbly cheese similar to a grated Parmesan consistency. I like to stop when I first see the creamy whey and leave it in for the moist cheese too. Let your cheese ball hang over your spoon or side of the colander and set for another hour. Grab a container with a lid and dump the cheese into it, using your spoon to scrape off any left on the cloth. With a fork, gently break up the cheese and add your salt, herbs, and seasonings. I like to use sea salt, garlic, and lemon pepper as my base seasoning and add other herbs from the garden here like dill, purple basil, oregano, or anything else flavorful. Place the lid on your cheese and let it set in the refrigerator to let the flavors set in, and your cheese is ready for the table or some delicious meals and snacks. And don't throw out the whey. It can be used for bread making, in stew or soup stock, add it to livestock feed, and many other useful applications. We'll be making yogurt from the goat milk for our next project, which can also make other types of cheeses. To see the full video, go to www.rollinggreenproject.org and keep up to date with things here on the ranch. This is Samantha Phenix with the Rolling Green Project and a New Light Video Magazine.